So we're here with Gabby and the Capital Grille for the cigar dinner by Regency Cigars. Gabby, how long you been here?
About a year and a half.
Yeah, how's that going?
Pretty good.
Yeah, have you done these cigar dinners before?
This is actually my first one.
Your first one, okay, so it should be an experience.
Yes.
We're going to go ahead and do our first course, which is a hay smoked scallops. The hay smoked scallops is a Viking type preparation. So back in the Viking days, they used to go ahead and take the hay, put it into a pot, burn the hay, and put their salmon in it. So we're all set up to go ahead and smoke our scallops. What we're going to do is we took these lovely scallops. These are out of New Bedford. One of our local guests came in. He has a boat called the Temptress out of New Bedford, and we get all the hand-picked U10, U8 scallops. That's units per pound, of course. So very simply, and this goes really, really quick, but we have our hay in our pan, and what we're just going to do is take our blowtorch, and we're going to go ahead and get that hay burning. And we're going to drop our scallops in there, like that. And then we're going to put a lid over it. And we're going to let that go for only 3 minutes. What's going to happen? Those scallops are going to be just barely cooked on the outside. There's still a beautiful, tender, raw texture on the inside. And then once those done, we'll get them seasoned and seared up just before service. We're going to go ahead and make our spice rub for the seared hay smoked scallops. So as you can see, we have the ash, and you can see it's cooked down to completely dust. We have some coarse ground salt. We have a little brown sugar. That's going to aid us in caramelization. And then we just have some freshly ground black pepper. We're going to go ahead and put that in our bowl. And what we're going to do is just break up this ash and just rub it really good. And as you can see, it just makes a nice little seasoning. What we're going to do is make sure we get our pan super, super hot. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to render down, we've rendered down some bacon fat, all right? And we've got a good amount of bacon fat. And then we're going to go ahead and just lightly press our scallop on both sides. And we seal that off. The sugar that we put in this spice rub is going to go ahead and give us nice caramelization on that too. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to flip that over. And as you can see, it's nice and black and a little bubbly on the outside, giving it a nice spark. So the brine consists of 1 liter of water, we're going to go ahead and add savory and salt. So we got a little bit of brown sugar. Some people like to use white sugar. We prefer brown sugar. This is a curing salt, not a Himalaya salt. It's a pink curing salt. And again, the quantity of this is very small. It just really helps preserve it and then gives the duck a nice texture. And then we have a coarse ground salt, and we'll go ahead and add those into our brine. A couple of the other items that we add to infuse a little bit of flavor. We have bay leaf, we have star of anise, we have juniper berries, again, a little bit of fennel seed. We have coriander seed, which makes up a lot of the flavor in the pastrami. We have black pepper as well as mustard seed. Okay. We're going to take this ingredient, we're going to bring it to a boil, and then we're going to go ahead and simmer this for a period of 30 minutes. Once this is done, we'll cool it down to room temperature and then chill it out, and then we'll go ahead and brine our duck breast. We want to brine our duck breast for at least 72 hours. You can go 3 days, 72 hours will be optimal. All right, on our seasonings, we have black pepper, mustard seed again, a little bit of juniper, and a good amount of coriander. We go ahead and we grind that up to a nice fine coarse texture in our lovely pepper mill, and then we'll go ahead and season up our duck breast. So keeping these on the rack, we're just going to go ahead and generously season those with our spice mix and back on the other side. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put our duck breast in the smoker. The smoker that I'm using is a Cook Shack. This is out of Oklahoma. And again, chefs don't have a lot of time. So on this particular smoker, it also pressures a little bit as well as steam. So it really does a good job keeping the product moist in the smoker. It doesn't give it a hot bark. So it's a lot of times when I go ahead and do this, on some items I might just go ahead and put them in the oven at a high temperature, just give them a little char, and then go ahead and start them up and then throw them back in my smoker and let them go. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and put our duck in the smoker. On the bottom of the chamber is our smoking well, all right? In this, I like to do a fruit wood with duck. It just seems to be, it just comes together. So what we have today is we're gonna be smoking with some apple flavor to it. So duck has finished, duck pastrami has finished in the smoker. So we're gonna go ahead and take this. We're just gonna slice it and see how we made out today. All right, so we're just gonna give that a nice, oh, I can see it came out amazing. You get that nice, in the curing salt, you got that nice pink texture right there.
And now Chris is going to show us how to do some short rib.
Great. So we have our short rib. And what's great about the short rib, look at this beautiful cut of meat. It has all these beautiful grains of fat. When we go ahead and smoke this down, all that fat is gonna go ahead and melt into the muscle fibers and make that meat very, very tender. We're gonna go ahead and brush this up with some really spicy Dijon mustard. Okay, season that up like that. Okay, that mustard's gonna help all our spices stick. We're gonna be really generous too. It's gonna help our spices stick. Here we are, we have our rub. We have a little bit of cumin, some smoked paprika, a little bit of cayenne, a little bit of ground oregano, salt, pepper, and brown sugar, and a host of other spices. Okay, our smoked short rib is complete. As you can see, we went from huge to small, all right? A lot of moisture was rendered out of this, a lot of the fat was rendered out of it when we went ahead during the smoking process. So now we have nice exposed bones along the short rib, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and just cut this up, see how it came out. Oh.